I
Okay.
don't
Good.
record much.
There you
All
go.
right.
You got it.
All right, guys, we're going to get going like right away here. And Alan, I'm going to have you take over in a minute. But Marty, you need to go somewhere in a little bit, right?
I do about 6:20. I need to disappear to go see a client. Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
Why don't you kind of introduce yourself and how
Okay.
you came about to get on this Zoom call and what you've done in the past for Han.
So I've been with Han for about 20 years, and I've done both Grand Sierra. I now currently am assistant chair again for downtown, and we have done Summer Salute on the car committee. So I've always been on the car committee. And we did Summer Salute the couple of years where the Chevy Club was in charge. So we went out the first couple of years and we staked everything and did what we needed to do and worked it for a couple of years. And then we sort of fell off the whole thing, right? Um, so what Jennifer has said to me at the meeting the other day is, hey, I can't be there, Rob can't be there, so I'm sort of standing in for the chair and for whatever position Jennifer has, which I don't really know what it is. So all I need to know from you all, and from what I understand after talking to Dennis, is that you need us to bring in about 10 people to help guide cars in and help. And I'm assuming it's just they go in, they park themselves. Are you guys going to guide them into certain
Okay.
roads?
We
So
we're
Give
going
me
to
more
guide
of that
them.
hang on a
information.
second, Alan. So Alan's going to take over
Okay,
and
great,
tell you what we actually need. Alan, go ahead.
great.
No, we need somebody to park the cars. It's
Okay.
it's going to be pretty basic. We're anticipating a lot of cars. We have over 100 cars already registered already,
Wow. Okay.
we're still 3 months out. But if you
Yeah.
look at this picture, you see the little white building. That's the restroom. You're familiar with the park.
I'm very familiar with the park.
Can
I've
you
been up
guys
there
see
a
my
lot.
arrow?
Yeah, we can see
Yep.
Yep.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
And so what's going to be in the parking lot? Is that going to be cordoned off?
Yes, the parking lot, we haven't completely decided if we're going to put food vendors or just regular vendors in there or not. But
Okay.
all the cars that you'll be dealing with would be in the grass area. And
Right. So they're,
they're going to come in up here at the top,
yep.
right where his arrow is,
Gotcha.
and come down. Now, to park that many cars in a short amount of time, we thought it would be better to split it in half and have two groups
Hmm.
parking cars and start from the center and work out.
Oh,
And
that's a great idea.
the center is probably, we're guesstimating right around where the dirt area is at the corner by the bathroom there. Go down a little bit.
Yes, about
Right?
right. Yes, about
Yeah.
right
We,
there.
we
I
figure
see
that's
exactly where
about
you're
the
talking.
middle. And if we have two teams working from there out, we can get
Uh-huh.
it done in a very short period of time.
Oh
Because
yeah, and besides that, those guys who are in there first, they're gonna love being in that center place. You know how they are.
sure.
Okay, good.
So
But
let me
that's
see if I can go ahead and share again, if you don't mind, guys. Let me stop share. Let me go share again, and we'll pull something else up.
Oh, sweet.
this is a different view. Now, this is something that the classic Chevys put together. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure of the measurements between the cars and how much driving space we have. What we allow 50 feet for two rows of cars back to back. That way we give 20 feet for each car and then 10 feet between the back bumpers so they can put up their pop-ups.
Okay.
And
So
then
10,
we need
stop
at
for a second.
least
Wait, let me make that note. You're gonna have 10 feet between their back ends.
yeah, if they're back to back,
Yep, I gotcha.
going to be 10 foot. So from the front bumper of one car to the front bumper of the other car is going to be 50 feet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. And then we need to have, we have to have a minimum of 10 feet between the
The
rows
rows.
but we usually allow a little more than that. You
Okay.
know, that way, if somebody wanted to leave early, it's not a hassle.
Right. They can actually make the turn and get out.
Right. And I don't know, I know what the length of these are, but I don't know the width because they didn't write that down on here. Uh,
Um, Al, for a
yeah.
little bit of reference, from the parking lot where the white building is there, if you drew a straight line from the corner of that parking lot over to that 200 feet.
Wait a minute, you're breaking up, Dan.
I am.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah,
I'm
you're
still
good
here.
now.
Okay, sorry.
No,
Anyhow,
no,
yeah, from that corner straight over to the close to the road there where you had it before,
right
I just
there.
checked. That's 250 feet. So that gives you some scale
Oh,
of what
okay.
How the heck did you
that
know that?
destination is. Pardon?
How did you know that?
I just went to Google Maps and measured it.
Huh?
That's hey,
And that's
Dennis,
why we got Dan coming on.
Dennis, that is Dan South, man. Pay attention.
I know. We haven't talked in a while, so that's stupid.
Yeah.
I like that
Okay,
idea. I think
but
that's great.
but
Yeah,
here's
that
what
means
we're
it's
gonna.
if you go from the upper left to that green, the parking lot or the grass there down to the lower right, that's almost a quarter mile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we're
Good.
going to do is I'll probably start on Thursday. I'm going to take a team of people up there. I've got ropes that I've put together for other car shows
Okay.
where we lay the rope out and then we go every 11 feet and we put a dot on the ground.
Okay.
We paint a dot.
Margie, let me interrupt you, Alan, real quick. So, Margie, Dan South here called me up over the weekend. And Dan, you want to just talk about yourself real quick and the inliners and what you called me about? Because I think that we
Okay.
need to talk.
Yeah. Uh, Real quick. Yeah, I'm the duly appointed head of the Northern Nevada chapter of Inliners.
Oh, wow.
And we had our monthly meeting on Saturday, and I tried to get as many people to put up hands as to helping with this event from our group.
Okay.
And I was specifically interested in parking because I know that's a big thing that takes bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, you're
yeah.
breaking up again.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Good now.
Let me turn this off. Okay. So yeah, we had about 10 or 15 people that said they would be willing to help, and I'm going to hold their feet to the fire. And I myself talked to Dennis. I want to help with the parking because it happens to be my wife's birthday that day, and I want to be able to take off in the afternoon, 3 o'clock or so. And I know I won't be able to help police up afterwards.
Mm.
So I want to do my share of the work in the morning. And I just figured, well, parking, that's what a lot of people want to do because it's easy. But like I said, it takes bodies. So I just want to say that I think the inliners, I think I can say with some confidence, and I think Al can back me up with that, that we can be there to help out with the
So
parking.
let's go back. Let me go back, Al, real quick and go to that park aerial view. Okay. So the cars are going to be coming in here, and Al, stop me if I'm wrong. And they'll be coming in a driveway right behind that tree there, and they'll be entering
Yes.
here. Now, somewhere in this area, we are going to be giving these people that are driving in that have not pre-registered a registration sheet.
Okay.
Somewhere in this part, so far, okay, Alan?
Yep.
Somewhere in this area, there's going to be a body, and maybe bodies down here to keep the people off the road. I don't know.
I think that's a good idea.
I think it'd
Okay.
be very smart to do that because if not, you'll find that they'll just go wherever they want to go.
Exactly.
We ran into that once
Yeah,
before.
Exactly. So they come in here. Let's say they're given a registration sheet behind that arrow there. So they'll come up here, and somewhere either between here and here, or are we doing it up here?
Oh, back there before they come in the park, right there. Before they come in there, they either have to be pre-registered or they have to have the form filled out, or they don't come in.
Okay.
So we're talking bodies here, bodies on the street, bodies here. And then I don't know. I think we'll be okay until we get in. I'm assuming we're going to come in here somewhere, right?
Yeah, we're gonna tell them to just come on down the road because once we get the first line all the way down to that dirt road, we're gonna have to have somebody guiding them past the row of cars. They can't cut across. We don't want anybody cutting across the field.
Right.
We want them to stay on the road till they get to their line, and then we'll turn them up the line and then have people parking them.
So then we'll need some, maybe the guy will be standing here for the check registration and he can keep them from cutting in. But I think we're going to have.
That's a very good idea to have somebody.
Well, I think Rory, weren't
call.
we going to have delineators
Yeah.
down here?
Yeah, we're gonna put up some tape and stuff like that so people know to stay on the road.
Okay.
And then they come in. That's where these, in this area here, we're probably talking 10 people, 5 here, or maybe even more, 6 here and 6 going this way. So
Well,
they'll come
gonna
in
need
here, and one group works downhill, one group works uphill.
You're gonna need 2 people to park cars on each side.
Right.
One guy in front, one guy in back. We're gonna need 2 people on the road where we turn them in. So there's 2, 4, 6.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to need a couple of people along the road. So there's 8. We're going to need 1 or 2 people at the entrance because somebody's going to have to collect the paperwork if they're handing us a registration form. And then a couple of people, like you said, behind the tree there. So we're probably going to need 2 teams of about 8.
That would be safe because you're going to need a spare person or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now here's another thing. This is coming in this entrance here. This is for cars. Now let's talk motorcycles because we've opened this up to motorcycles as well.
Okay.
Right. And motorcycles will come down that road where the arrow is and come all the way here to the parking lot. They'll come in the parking lot there, and there's a gate right there.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come in that gate, and they'll make like a U-turn, and we're going to park the motorcycles up in that area right there.
Got it. Okay. So you'll need a couple of people there too.
Well, I think we got enough people with the motorcycle clubs that are going to be participating to handle that.
Okay, great.
But you're not going to have motorcycles if there's motorcycles down in here in the line of traffic, we're going to have to guide them out to come on down here.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll need a body here probably.
Well, actually, we could have somebody all the way at the main entrance, and as motorcycles come in, we'll just tell them to bypass the cars,
right,
and stay on this road, and we'll have somebody at the entrance right there.
Yep.
And to guide them in there, and then somebody here to flip them around the other side. So it's probably need.
Yeah, and that would be really smart because you're going to get a backup out on Sierra.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. Mainly because the park says that we can't open the gates until 7.
Oh.
And that's ridiculous. I was reading through some paperwork today from years past, and they've always opened up the gates at 5. So I need to have a little chat with Andy and tell him, hey, we're going to be there. Dennis and Rory, or not Rory, Dennis and Tim and I and our wives are going to be there camping overnight.
Oh gosh.
Because we're going to be.
We'll have a camper down here, a camper up here, and a camper right here.
Okay.
We're also, the only reason we can do that is because we're now security for the park.
Right. Okay.
That's why they let us do it.
So we can keep an eye on everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Vicki, do you want to talk about where we have registration set up and things like that?
Well, that's easy enough. Just past the bathroom area there, where the motorcycles are going to be coming in that area there, where we're going to set up the DJ stand, the registration, the silent auction, all of that stuff is going to be the t-shirts. Well, the t-shirts will be with registration.
Well, and the pinup girls too.
Yeah, and then the pinup girls are going to be in that same area right next to the DJ station. So yeah, all that's going to be in one central location next to that bathroom. Now that bathroom will not be open the day of the show. They've never allowed.
They never open them. You're right.
Yeah.
But we're okay. We've got that covered already.
Yeah.
So what else?
So you got the show cars, you've got the bikes. Where are you going to put the herd of ADHD sheep, the spectators that are going to come dribbling in all day long?
Well, I don't
know where they did that before.
There is a parking lot up past up to the north of this.
Yes.
Right.
And then there's a sidewalk. We looked at it already, and there's sidewalks walking down into this area here. So
Yeah,
they'll
on
be parking
San,
way up.
San Rafael Drive. Yeah, there's parking lots along San Rafael Drive, and you plan on utilizing all that, I suppose, then.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, good.
And there is a way to get in that back way because when they have
Right.
tops on the river down there, we
Yeah.
utilize that back way to come into those parking lots back there. So that would be something that in case I mean, there's workaround to get to those parking lots is a lot easier than coming through that road and trying to get there. So yeah, so absolutely, that would be where you'd just have signs that say public parking and have a directional sign that goes that way.
Yeah, we're going
Yeah,
to
you
use
can.
the back gate early because we're going to have all of the vendors coming in that back gate.
Yeah. Okay.
We're
I
going to
didn't
have
realize.
all the people that are going to be helping the day of the show. We don't want them to get caught in the backlog to the east or to the west. No, the east. So we're going to have them use the other gate to come in and park their car. If they're going to bring cars to put in the show, we're going to park them and get that all done. And we want to have all that done before we open the gates. If we're going to open the gates at 5, we need to start getting people there to, between 4 and 4:30 to get ready.
Okay.
So
What's this?
Yeah.
in respect for Margie's time, Margie, could you do me a favor and Dan, the two of you exchange phone numbers and emails, please, right now?
Sure, I can do that right now.
Because if you guys need to talk, away
Yeah,
from the
and
meeting, that's fine. So you can
Go
start.
ahead, Dan. I'll write yours down.
okay, my phone number is of course 775-220-8021.
And it's
Okay.
Dan South.
Yeah. And if you just text me your email, I will text you back my phone number and email. So
Perfect. I'll take care of that in just a little bit.
no worries. Thank
I'm
you.
really excited. So basically, even though you've got the Northern Nevada inliners, you've got 10 to 15 people. Do you still think you need 10 to 10 people out of the car club? Because I can get out of the car committee because I can do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's good that we're going to have spares because this can be a long day for some people. Some people might want to help out arrive a little later in the morning, and
Uh-huh.
some
Yeah.
people like myself have to leave
Good
early.
point. Good point, Dan.
Yeah.
Margie, before we let you go, because I know it's coming up on time, Rich, could you share with Margie what's coming up on our planning meeting? If either one of you, Margie or Dan, you haven't joined the coalition, NevadaCarCoalition.com.
I joined today. I know I registered my truck.
Go to the Facebook page.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, probably a better place to go to, the Facebook page, Nevada Car
Okay.
Coalition.
Got it.
And
Okay.
just answer a couple questions, and Kevin DeGregory, which I don't see him, but I'm assuming is on.
Yeah.
We'll let
I'm right
you
here,
in.
Dad.
Oh, there he is.
I'm here, Dad.
Hi, Kevin.
Okay, I didn't
The next
even
question
see it.
is, are you having these meetings monthly?
Right now, I think, guys, what are you thinking, Al? Maybe starting next month, maybe we do it twice a month?
Yeah, you're talking about for the car show. I think next month we are going to start doing it every other week,
Okay.
just because
Yeah,
we're going to get down
I
to
think
crunch
so.
time, and we need to keep everybody. We need to make sure everybody's communicating with us so we know where everybody else is at, because we got
Right.
other people doing things like, trophies. We got auction items. We've got vendors. We got food vendors. So we need to get together and make sure
Yeah.
that we keep everything flowing.
So,
Yeah, and-
Rich, why don't you share with these guys? Dan, you're going to hang on, but Margie, you got to leave.
Yeah.
Rich, why don't you tell Margie what's going on next month or later this month?
So the meeting is on the 23rd at the Auto Museum.
Okay.
He doesn't know what it is, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
get into it. The purpose of the meeting is to put things on the calendar and make sure everybody's aware of what's planned for the whole summer. So we don't get a whole lot of overlaps of 5 different car shows on the same day in the same area.
Got it. That makes
So
sense.
we're trying to get as many people there from different car shows or car clubs just to make sure we've got everything on the calendar that we can. There's always surprises that come up every month, but
Mhm.
we'd like to get as station or as much of it there so we know what's going on.
Tell them
Okay.
what you do, Rich.
What I do, I put the calendar together after that show or that meeting, and just try to keep it update and republish it every month because there are changes that happen.
Okay. Great.
So at about the end of the month, usually the last week, I'll try to publish the next month's version.
Mhm.
And Michelle Opio will be there. I sent her the coalition flyer for the event, so she will be there as well to take everyone's dates to put it on the Al's Rods and Customs flyer or calendar for the year as well.
Yeah, I just saw Al the other night. So, and we have a general meeting, I think, coming up the end of the first week of March, I believe. So what I'll do is with all this information that I can gather from you, we'll start getting some signups. I'll put together a sign up sheet for that particular date.
Perfect. Perfect. Now, by the way, just so you know, that these things are recorded.
Yes.
Okay, and we put it out to the Nevada Car Coalition Facebook page. So any member, the number, what do we have? 1,300 members?
Well,
Pretty darn close.
We're pretty serious.
Wow.
Pretty darn
Wow.
close.
So they can all, they don't have to be at these meetings. They can listen to it in their own leisure.
Great. Fantastic. All right.
Okay, Margie, anything
Hey,
else?
thank you. Nice to meet you. I'll see you again.
Yeah.
Nice
Soon.
meeting you. Look forward to hearing from you.
Bye,
Take care.
everybody.
thank
Thank you.
you for helping.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun. It'll be fun.
It will be a great
I think
day.
so. I'm feeling better about this already. So.
Okay, good. Talk
Oh,
to you
you're so
soon.
special, Dan.
Bye.
That's why they
No.
give me my own bus.
So who wants to start? Tasha, you want to start? And tell them what, who your organization and what you're doing for the show.
Sure. I'm Tasha. I'm the president of the Cherry Bomb Betties, which is the pinup group that will be putting on the pinup show. And we're also helping out with the vendors, both food truck and craft vendors. So far, we've got quite a few that we've talked to. Just last weekend, a few of the girls and I went to a craft fair in Sparks and spoke with about 25 different vendors and handed out all 20 flyers, solicitation letters that you guys put out, as well as envelopes that Dennis perfectly stamped and lettered for me. And we had some really good feedback. A lot of it was veterans there. So we've got quite a few people that are very interested. One of the gentlemen who was there knew a woman who works at UNR, who does a lot of work with veterans, and has a lot of 501(c)(3)s. So we're hoping we get some of those guys on board. So I'm just trying to keep everything logged as best as I can. I know Dennis sent me a few emails today of some vendors that Vicky had talked to. So I just need to add those onto there. And that's about it.
So Tasha, do you need more envelopes?
Yes, please. If you would, if you feel the need to do those, that would be great.
No, I'll do them as long as you're going to go out and do that. Definitely. And
Yep.
tell them basically what she's doing is she's getting them signed up, and if she can get a check right then, fine. If not, she's going to get them registered on the website. But that's what the envelopes are for. Hey, here it is. Get your application in, and it send it, and it goes to you, Rory.
Yep. And we are also lucky enough that the Dayton Valley Chamber of Commerce had a list of every vendor that was at Dayton Valley Days last year, which was over 150 vendors, and they sent out a mass email for us.
You got a list, or they sent out an email for you?
They wouldn't give me a list just because of privacy reasons.
Right.
So they literally sent out a mass email to all 150 vendors for us.
When did that go out?
I have to double check. I believe it was last week though, is when I got the confirmation.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The Dayton Valley Days brings a lot of vendors.
A lot. Yeah, there was 151 vendors last year, and they were struggling with another 32 on the wait list. So yeah, it's massive.
Well, Dan and I know about that because we were the ones that did the car show down there years ago.
Yeah, last year's wasn't super, super great, but we're trying to bring it back.
Yeah, well, we just when the COVID hit, everything kind of fell apart. So we're doing the car show, Tasha, for 17 years down there.
Wow, yeah.
So when it was big, when we had the 130 cars in there, That was the Dayton Valley, Dayton Valley Car Club that did that.
Where did you put them all?
It was
Exactly.
There's not much
It
room
was
down there.
tough. Well, it was tough. Well, we pre-staged those down at the park. So we closed our park down. That road that goes along the park.
Yep.
So we pre-staged them in 2 lanes. Okay. And they had coffee and donuts down there and that kind of thing. Then they went in the parade through the whole where the vendors were. And then
Oh,
then they
gotcha.
came back around through the park, and that's when we started parking them. We parked them everywhere. I mean, every parking lot we could get, we used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year's was mainly in front of, do you know where Jay's is? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jay's and kind of
It was
along.
mostly all on Main Street. Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah.
a little bit on Pike, but not much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good. Okay. Well, I'll get you
Yeah.
some more envelopes in.
Perfect. As far as the pinup contest, I know that all the parking folks talked about us being next to the registration table and DJ. Do you guys need us for anything else that day? Like, do you want the pinups to go around and do certain things? What kind of works for you guys as far as that goes?
What do you Kevin? What do you use them for?
Just go around and socialize is all. Just,
Okay.
because you guys are, you're a group that everybody's going to recognize you guys. So
Yeah,
rather than just stand in your booth all day, I mean, get
yeah.
out there and mingle with the participants. Tell them we appreciate them being there.
Okay.
Obviously, we can't hit every one of them.
Is there
We're going to be busy that day.
Is there any way I can get a list of all the car clubs that are involved? Because we will happily write thank you letters on some of our photos that we're taking, which, by the way, we're taking on the USS Hornet next month as a military theme for the specific event.
Cool.
So we're going to try and get a calendar together so all the girls can sign it for veterans or whoever.
That's cool.
As people sign up, we will get the club affiliations.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, if you get me their club affiliations, I would be more than happy to send out thank you letters to each of the clubs that show up.
That's cool. Yeah.
So we can do that, and I'm going to be getting like photos done that are matte, so we can actually sign them and they won't rub off. I can now tell you guys that we officially have 11 girls in our group. So there'll be 11 of us for the group. And so far we have 11 girls in the pinup contest.
Oh, good.
Locked in and signed up for it. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
You rock.
You missed Kevin? Anything you added to it?
I just said, Tasha, you rock.
I try, I try. But yeah, we'd be more than happy to walk around, hang out with the car guys, crack jokes. We also have a way of doing donations as well for that day. So how are we handling that money? Are we doing it at the end of the day when awards are being done?
What money?
So we're planning on taking donations during that day at our booth.
For the show?
For the show, for the Honor Flight, Quilts of Valor, and Veterans Guest House.
We're gonna have at least one donation bucket at the registration table.
Okay. So what we're planning on doing is having a bucket for each military branch, and we're kind of doing a who's the best military branch. So they put money in whatever bucket they think the military branch.
We already know what the best military branch is, so there's no sense in
the Coast Guard.
I was going to say the Navy.
Sounds no, I think we're saying the Air Force.
I thought it was the Army. I was going with the Army.
Who invited these people?
I don't know.
But we're also going to do a bucket
Nevada
for the
Classics.
We're also going to do a bucket for the MIA soldiers that.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So that way we can get some donations going that day and a little bit of, rivalry going on between all the old vets. I thought would be a really great idea.
That's a really good idea. And let me piggyback that. Rory, why don't you talk about the possible flyover?
Ooh, yeah.
That actually is Al's thing. He got it all arranged.
Al?
Yeah, we have a flyover that's going to be right at 9:00 to kick things off.
No, brother.
And
the Army doing the flyover?
The Army National Guard. Yeah.
Army.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, it's like the Navy. They come in, they drop stuff, and then they get out of the way.
I was gonna say they actually
And then they
actually
let
do
the
stuff not on the
Marines
ship.
take over.
But right after the Air Force clears a spot for them.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Anyway,
I'm sorry, I was never in the service, but all my family background was all Army, so that's what I got to go with.
okay.
And mine's Navy, even to this day. So
No, we're all good.
So also, I had another outfit reach out to me. They have some vintage World War II planes, and they want to do a second flyover at lunchtime.
That's really cool.
So
is
we're going to have that set up.
What do
Is
you
there
think, Dan?
Okay, we need to go back.
Oh,
to
Dan's frozen.
But let's go back to the bucket thing. Vicky said.
Yeah,
You know, she wants to put out 5 buckets.
I can hear you, Dan.
And then we're gonna have one at registration.
There you go.
That many buckets and.
Well, they're going to do that just for competition between the militaries, and then she'll turn all that into
the bucket, the big bucket?
the big bucket towards the end.
Okay. All right, and the board is agreeing with that, right?
I have no problem with that. Anybody have a problem with that?
No.
No, but we need to get Karen on here so she can do her report. So why don't you unmute, Karen, talk about tell us your car clubs, just in case a few people don't know you, mainly Tasha, and then what you volunteered for in your club. Oh, there you are.
Here I am. Okay, so
And you gotta before this starts, you gotta brag about your kid.
okay,
Where she went to college and what they just accomplished.
so my daughter graduated from Carson High School. She was a varsity volleyball player all 4 years and has been playing club competitive volleyball for 6 years. So she played 2 years in middle school as well. She got recruited to Feather River College in Quincy, which is a junior college that won state championships year before last and won beach championships last year. And the coach told her, don't worry about it. You're going to be a freshman. We've got a huge sophomore crew. You're probably not going to get a lot of play time, but we're going to take state this year. And they came in 8th in the division and finished first in state. So they took state championships on court and they're playing beach volleyball now. And she is playing beach volleyball. They just played in Santa Cruz last week on the beach. It was beautiful, sunny day. It was wonderful. And they're doing really well, but state champs came in 8th.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's
Pretty
awesome.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So
yeah, that's my sunshine. And for anybody who knows her, that's a fitting nickname because that's what she is. She is very much sunshine.
Yes,
She's
she
an
is.
old soul, but she's a good kid. So I am with the Lake Tahoe Corvette Club, and we have no events of our own. And we used to years ago. I think the last one was in 2012 or 2015. I can't remember. But we used to do an annual semi-annual car show every 2 years at Montreux in Lake Tahoe, and then Montreux sold their parking lot to a community center, and we didn't have a place to have it anymore. And a lot of our members are really aged, geriatric, and so a lot of people didn't really want to do anything. Gary and I came back to the Corvette Club after being on a hiatus for a couple of years. We did Dayton Valley, and we did Reno Corvette Club, and they don't have a show either. Dayton Valley, we did Dayton Valley Days with Dennis and Marilee and the crew, and so we really liked doing it. It was something that we didn't mind volunteering for. When I came back to the Lake Tahoe Corvette Club a year ago, they said, we want you to be our secretary. And so I became the secretary of the Lake Tahoe Corvette Club, which gave me the power and the voice to commit my members to volunteer for veterans events, because that is our charity of choice at the Lake Tahoe Corvette Club. So last year we helped Rory at Iron Mafia's event in June and in August, and we have committed again to that. I was a huge advocate for Summer Salute. I was very supportive of Alice before she passed, and she really wanted to make this happen again. So when there were rumors that they were going to bring it back, that they needed some help, I reached out to Dennis and kind of put the bug in his ear for his board to follow up and get this going as much as possible. There was a small select of car clubs that were interested in getting Summer Salute going. And I think that we're the only one that's left besides Northern Nevada Classics that were at those initial meetings. And so I'm still here. Lake Tahoe Corvettes has taken on trophy sponsorships, and we also took on the goodie bags. And so I have an update for you guys as far as trophy sponsorships. I do need to get a little bit of information from Vicki Jewell, but I can tell you where I'm at. This last week, I spent most of the day, one whole day on the phone with everyone who I had reached out to that was a prior sponsor of a trophy for Summer Salute. And I was able to get Al's Rods and Customs. I was also able to get Steve's Custom Auto Interior. They both did one trophy a piece. And I do believe that Rory has received the checks from both of those now. I also have Community for Vets, which is Frank. He does the Iron Mafia event, and
I don't want to get into hard.
he did a trophy sponsorship. And then my boss up at the lake, who I work for, is an attorney. He sponsored a trophy. So all total with what we got at the original planning meeting, which was 2 trophies from Rick Brendel and 3 additional trophies that have come in. And I need Vicki to confirm this, but Concourse Parts and Accessories have also done a trophy, and Classic Chevys did a trophy. And then I heard this week when I talked to Rory that Elite Finish was also going to do a trophy. So I'm up to a total of 9 out of the 25 that I need. I have, however, hit everyone that was on the list. And I do have 3 that are still outstanding. That would be Valley Transmission, 4. 4. Fast Glass and Sparks. I spoke to Mark Foreman. He asked me to resend him the information and he would get back to me. Valley Transmissions, John Lydahl, he sent me a request for me to email him the information again. So I emailed it to him. And Triplet 4, that is Carlos Mejia, who was part of Chevy Classics and always sponsored a trophy under his LLC name. I just spoke to him last week at the Reno Corvette meeting. He said he would be sending his in. And I think that's where I'm at so far. That's everyone who was on the list already for a sponsor before I've either spoke to them or they've committed.
I have a question. How many are we doing trophies for the motorcycles as well now, or just cars?
No, there's 2 for the motorcycles.
So have we thought about maybe reaching out to like Harley Davidson of Carson City or Summit or any of
You already have. Yes,
okay. Any of the motorcycle places around?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have Alan elaborate a little bit more. We've reached out to him, we've talked to him, we've been over there.
We went to a meeting. Rory and I, Vicki and Tess went to a meeting Saturday. That was a busy day. And met with the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Club that meet at Harley Davidson there in Carson City and talked with them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been to the Harley shop in Reno and also spoke to the people at Battleborn. So we've hit them up.
I was trying to think if there's any like motorcycle education classes companies that we can hit up maybe. I know there's one out in Silver Springs, but I don't know how active they are currently.
What is a motorcycle?
Like where you learn to ride motorcycles. Usually you'll take like your Harley out there and you get your class, what is it? Class M motorcycle license.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if that was an option either. I mean, I can check it out in Silver Springs if you want me to.
We've got a couple more shops to hit up in Reno, the BMW, the Triumph, and Shoeman's Custom Cycles.
Cool.
Haven't been to yet, so we're hitting them up.
Very cool.
Okay, so that pretty much wraps up trophies. I just need to know if there's been any updates. Rory, has there been any updates since we talked?
Actually, I haven't been back to the mailbox. I
Okay.
checked it Friday and there was nothing in there. Could have gotten some Saturday and today. I'll be down there again Wednesday to check on the mailbox. And we'll know then if those other people have sent them in. I did email and talk to
I'm in.
Opios at Al's Rod and Custom, and they said they would send it in directly. So I'm expecting that one.
Oh, so you don't have the money for those yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay, so Karen, are you actually putting all this information on the Excel spreadsheet?
Yes, ma'am. I have it for you, and if you'd like for me to, I'll send it to you at the end of this meeting.
It'd be good to see really where we're at. I mean, I have a started list of what we have received so far. And I know you've got the list that we started with, but it'd be good to see where we are so we don't hit repeats, because I know we're out there trying to do the same thing with trophies too if we run across somebody. But
yeah, I think you might want to put down for Elite Finish. I think he's going to do 2 trophies.
Is he going to do 2? Okay. Has he paid for them yet, though?
No, I'll be down at that end of town Wednesday or Thursday and get a check from him.
and that Shannon Scarpa from Industrial Finishes, she came to our scout show, so you probably reached out to her, but I went ahead and reached out too, and she's very excited about doing the show plus the K9 show, and so I think she's gonna do a trophy and do a vendor booth, but I haven't seen anything yet, so I don't know for sure. But
Okay.
she's very excited. She's a good choice.
And you said her name is Shannon Scarpa, and she's with what group?
Industrial Finishes. She's on the first part of your list there.
I don't have that on here.
You don't?
She wasn't one of them that was on here.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll make sure that she gets on there.
Don't worry about it then.
Okay. And then the only other update that I can do is on goodie extras, and this one's gonna be a little more difficult. I talked to Rory about this. Gary did hit up Haggerty Insurance, MagnaFlow, Summit, and Mother's Polish. All of them told them that they do not do commitments for donations until 6 weeks before the event. So they did give a little bit of insight in that they said that they limit the amount that they give for giveaways to $250. And so when I talked to Rory suggested that so we get $250 from Haggerty and $250 for MagnaFlow, and if we have 500 entrants, half of them get Haggerty stuff in their bag and half of them get MagnaFlow stuff. And so that's kind of the approach that we're going to take. We obviously have the pins from Al, so we have plenty of pens. And then we also spoke to a couple of people who were kind of interested in putting their flyers in the bags for events that they have this year. So I wanted to reach out to the board members who are club organizers and club board members of different clubs to see if they would like to get me flyers or get me something that I can print that I can put in there. That would be really great. If you have a show coming up, it would be a good advertisement for you because you know that you're going to hit every single person that's there is going to get a flyer from you. And then that's where we're at for the bags.
Option red.
Okay.
I don't know if it's here for us for that show.
I'm sure they saw me.
As a whole, I don't.
What do you got going there, Alan?
We're just having a little sidebar about the show. She's talking about putting flyers in the baskets, and we're talking about the canines and cops.
Like most of these people usually just put them in the cars.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah, but it's better to do it this way.
Here's a thought. What if we had somewhere they could come to our registration table and have a car show table, for example. And they can pick up their own flyers that they think is important to them.
Yeah, because like I was telling her, when we do the one down here in Gardnerville, we're going to only expect between 200, 250 cars. And most of the people that are going to be at the Summer Salute, they're not going to come down here for that show, because it's supporting Douglas County Sheriff, and they don't live in the area. So we're just doing a side thing. I mean, it's a good idea to put the flyers in there if the clubs have something. We can bring that up at the
planning
calendar. The calendar meeting is where we need to bring that up.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
it would be a lot easier if you had an information table for future shows.
Sure.
Well, I'm thinking we're making Rich go all the work to come up with this calendar. Why shouldn't we have one on a display board at every show at the registration booth? So when people are standing in line, they can look and go, oh, look, there's a show I'm interested in.
Yeah, we'll have some of these. The calendar, this calendar meeting, I don't know, Dan, if you knew about this, it's for the big calendar that Al's Hot Rod Shop puts out.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what this meeting is all about. And those calendars will be available by the time, by the time we have the show, because they'll probably print those in March.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So we'll have those at the show. As a matter of fact, we might ask her if she could bring, give us, 40, 50, 100 or whatever. And they're there to hand out for people as well.
Al, those calendars will be available all over the area. If you go to Summit Racing, they have a ton of them on file. And I have a guy that I can talk to. I can get a stack of them. I can also get them through RDW. There's numerous places where I can get a ton of them if we want to hand them out at the event.
Yeah, because she told me if I, at the last meeting, that if whatever amount I needed, just ask her. So we can getting a handful of those is not going to be an issue for any of us.
Oh,
Not at all.
Yeah, that's the ones if you wanted to stuff the bags with, you got the whole calendar for the rest of the year.
The other option too is to hand them out as we greet people.
Yeah.
What
Corey,
they
were you going to say
prefer,
something?
I talked to them at length last year about this, about getting a bunch of calendars. They prefer that people go into the sponsors and actually pick them up.
Yes.
That makes sense.
But we're not going to eliminate that.
Well, if you're handing out 200 of them, it will. I tried to get 50 last year, and they didn't like that very much.
No?
They gave me 30 or 40.
I went to Summit last year, and I went to RDW last year, and they go, take as many as you need.
Oh yeah, I grabbed like 10 at Summit that they had out.
That's because Kevin's got a pretty face.
That's it, Al.
All right, what else we need to talk about the show? We've got about 12 minutes.
Real quick, I do have a question going back to the vendors. Do we have a confirmed number of vendors that we have on file that have submitted payment? Do we know how many of each?
How many?
That'd be a Vicky question.
You only have 3 crafters,
There's only 3 crafters right now.
Okay, any food?
like 4.
4
Four.
food vendors?
Well, yeah, I think 4, 3 or 4.
3 or 4 food vendors.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think with what you sent out there or what the Chamber of Commerce sent out,
Yeah.
I think you're going to get some. Is your contact information on that, or how are they supposed to contact?
They sent out the flyer, so if any
Okay.
cards, it would be you, and then I'm sure Vicky would end up telling me, or you would tell me. Someone would tell me.
Yeah, we're telling you when we get them. I've been emailing you when we get stuff with an Excel spreadsheet. All right, I have a couple things.
Yeah.
I did reach out to the Reno Aces. They are going to give us an auction item of 4 tickets. So we have 1 auction item, but I'd like to bring this up to the board. I think each of us car clubs, not necessarily, well, at least the board, I'll just say the board, and if anybody else wants to do it, that's fine too, should provide an auction item as well.
Is there a dollar amount?
No.
Not under?
No, I don't. You don't want a $5 item, but
Yeah. Then you got some clubs like that new international guy. He's got like $3,000 in his bank account for the club. So
oh, the inliners.
yeah, so they can get a nice gift.
I already got that one squared away. But anyway, I'm suggesting that. So I don't know if you guys want to do it or not.
Okay.
Anyway, and then I want to get some Carrie to print up some registration forms, like at least 300.
That's something to bring up at the meeting Wednesday night, Timmy.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. So is that okay with the board if I get Carrie to do that?
I'm good with it.
Registration copies.
Yes. Yeah, we need to get some registration forms out there and start passing them around.
Yeah.
500.
How many?
I'd say 3 to start.
300?
To start, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know we're gonna need the day of the show.
We'll do 300 to start. We could start handing those out, and I don't think we need more than 100. Well, we'll know when we get closer.
So did you gonna talk about t-shirts?
Oh, t-shirts. Oh,
They already know what it looks like.
oh, I already, yeah. So t-shirts. Talked to her today. I told her as we get 100 cars registered, so I'm putting in an order. I'll take the sheet over to her tomorrow of 107 shirts. That's for our first 100 cars because people had ordered extra ones. How many cars we got registered?
We have 105 as of this afternoon.
105 cars registered. At this rate, we should be around 400 cars the day of the show or more.
How many motorcycles, Vicky?
2.
2.
2.
Timmy, you got to jump on that, bud. You're the motorcycle guy.
Yeah, we got to get the motorcycle. Like I say, Tori and I went to that club. They were very receptive, very nice, man. We had a great time.
Actually, they're gonna do a booth.
And they already signed up for a booth.
They're veterans.
So we know they're going to have a couple of motorcycles there.
Well, I only registered my truck this afternoon.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, I can go ahead and register the Le Mans, one of my bikes, and I have a good friend in Reno that got a bunch of stuff, and he might be good for it. So I'll contact him.
You got anybody
you up to what, 3, 4 bikes now?
Yeah, well, like I say, we're hoping to have 100 bikes, but we haven't hit everybody yet, and we're still 3 months away from the show.
Well, Tim and I went to the Northern Nevada Hog meeting, and they were receptive. We were thinking about going back and saying, hey, here's our registration forms. We'll take them in the back, kind of thing.
That's what we do need the registration forms. So when we went to that meeting Saturday, we have them in hand.
We did have them in hand. Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, we had everything.
We didn't hand any out.
That guy next to me that signed up for the booth, he took everything.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Because he's like one of the guys in a board member or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I can get registration for registration applications, I'm going to the Nevada State Fair for a car rally that they're doing with a local car club in Dayton. I'd be more than happy to pass out registration flyers and craft and vendor flyers as well.
The state fair?
Yeah, the Nevada State Fair in Carson.
Yeah, I can get them over to you.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I just need them by June 7th. That's when it is. So yeah, there's a car club going out there doing a.
That won't work because the show's before then.
Oh, that's right. Ugh, I'm an idiot.
Who's
Sorry.
the club in Dayton?
Good enough stuff.
Who?
Or good enough stuff.
Somebody new?
They're new. Do you know the guy?
Yeah, his name's Ray.
Ray.
Ray. Ray and Miranda.
He signed up to do the raffle at the Summer Salute.
Yeah.
They were also at Customs and Classics last year. Their first time coming out last year was at our event.
And they go everywhere because they were down here for our Friendship Day last year.
Oh, good.
Yeah. They did a lot. But
they
they
taking over the Dayton Valley Days car show?
They were there. Yep.
Okay, good. Good.
But they also might have some members that have bikes, so I will let them know that the registration's now opened up to bikes. So that way we can try and get some more motorcycles involved, and they may know other people that ride as well.
Yeah.
That kind of
Hey,
branch out.
Tasha, also, if you're looking for the registration form,
Yeah.
I did post it on the last summer salute
And it's the
post
same
I put up.
It's the same registration form for both cars and motorcycles.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have to say, Kevin, you did it a few days ago, right? Like
Yeah.
4 days ago, whatever.
Yeah.
When you did that on Facebook, we got 8 registers that day.
Good job,
Awesome.
Kevin.
Awesome.
You need to do this more often.
Yeah.
I think.
There'll be a little extra something in the goodie bag for you.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Another CVI pen, Kevin.
Yeah, no, TVI
So am I
pin.
getting a raise?
Yeah, there you go. A whole bag of them.
Well, this is
He needs new car parts.
Yeah.
Always.
Has anybody contacted PJ's Pub in Reno, the one there on Wells, just off of Plum and Virginia?
pub. We haven't hit any pubs yet.
Well, PJ has a bike night every Wednesday night, and he tries to do it year round, which isn't easy here. But I like to go to that event. It's just a bunch of bike guys, kicking tires and hanging around at PJ's. So I'll stop by there. I'll get hold of a good friend of mine, Jim, that lives in Reno. The one I said has got a boatload of bikes. Like his daily driver is a 48 Indian. So
Oh, geez.
Nice.
Wow.
yeah. So anyhow, I can try and bump up the bike portion of it a little bit, even though
Yeah,
I only want to be
definitely.
representing myself in the car club groups here.
Do you need some registration forms?
I can find some. I know where you live.
Yeah, exactly. You do.
He doesn't have any.
Well, I'm not going to be able to make it this week or next week to PJ's. I don't think. No, I won't be able to.
Again, you can pull it off the coalition page because I posted it out there. The registration form's on there.
Or I can bring it to you
Really,
this
I'm
weekend.
gonna go
What's this weekend?
the guy. Don't go down there and just start.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Vicky said you guys are getting together this weekend. She can just bring them to you.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Yeah, that'll work.
Before I forget, Rory, don't let me forget to give you this check.
Yes, sir. I'll come
Well,
by tomorrow and
guys.
get it.
Okay.
Also on Saturday, going to Battleborn Indian Motorcycle Riders meeting in Reno. So I'll hit those guys up
Oh.
too.
I have
You
registration.
might
You
see Jim
have
Mills
any
there.
registration forms?
I've got a few.
Me
I can
now.
take-
Well, we're gonna try to do lunch with Whitney and Chris, but now we're doing dinner.
Okay. You want me to go with you to that, Rory?
Are you available Saturday morning at 10?
Yeah, we were going to do a lunch thing with some friends, but we're changed that to dinner, so I'm available.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. What time?
10 o'clock Saturday. We got a Reno Cycles and Gear, which they've also said
What
that
time
they
you
would,
What time you picking me up?
9 o'clock.
Okay.
Reno Cycles and Gear said they'd give some stuff for the auction as well.
Nice.
I've talked to them. And then, of course, Reno Gun Club, we got to hit them up as we get closer. They're going to give some free range time.
An auction item.
And then, Alan, what about that Jim guy that was able to collect a bunch of?
Jim, I got to go see him next week.
Is that the guy that did all the donations, the big donations?
Yes.
No.
He's part of Honor Flight, Jim Forbes. He has
Yeah,
mission.
he's talking about a different Jim.
Oh,
He's talking about Jim Hutcherson, and he was supposed to call me back today. I haven't heard from him.
Okay. And then your Jim, was that the guy who had the access to the TV channel? Rory?
I've talked to Rich Crombie. He'll set it up.
Oh, he
next
might
month.
be a good idea. forgot about him.
Yep. No, he's gonna. I
Yeah,
already
he's
talked
always
to
on
him. He'll
TV.
set it up next month for a couple people to go up with him. He can talk as the MC DJ, and then we can talk about the whole show.
Perfect.
But Dennis, the gym that Rory was talking about is that realtor that was going to donate.
Oh, yeah, okay.
At the last meeting. That's who he's talking about.
Okay. Donate the, what, $2,000 or something?
Yeah, 2,500 or something like that.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
yeah, 2,000 plus a trophy sponsor.
Right.
Okay.
That's Mission Realty.
Mission Realty.
Yeah. All right, what else? Anything else, guys?
Nope, just follow up. I like your idea, Dennis, about the event booth or table. They can put all their stuff up there instead of stuffing 3 things in that they'll throw away anyway.
Well, it's
You
just
pick up
kind of
the flyers
classy,
they want.
kind of, it's just a different way to do it than we all did, is, stuffing them in goodie bags. It's just an information table.
And if they want to have one of their reps standing there talking about it, that's cool
That's
too.
fine. That's what this is about. It's about them promoting their own clubs too.
Yep.
So,
Hey, Dan, I got a question about the 23rd, meeting on the 23rd. When you get further down the list, I want to ask a question.
Ask.
I think we're done with the list.
Who's gonna do the calendar since I'm not gonna be there? Cause I've got some updates I've been doing and I'd like to get it out to whoever's gonna type up their calendar.
I think, thank you. I think Vic's going to step in for that particular one.
Okay. I'll make sure I get it to you.
Do what?
I don't hear anything from her.
No, and not until this thing's going to be turned off, then you will. I'd be hauling ass out of that room there, buddy. So, all right.
Yeah, just send it to her when you can, Rich.
All right, I'll do that.
So
our next meeting's on the 10th. We have to have this whole group of volunteers back on there. And then I think we're going to start twice a month?
yeah. So the next one's on the 10th of March.
Yeah, and then if we're going to do it on the twice a month, then I'll start putting them on there for at least the next 3 months. Like the 10th and then the 31st for March.
No, 24.
And it can be shorter. It doesn't have to be long. It's just a matter of, hey, what are we doing? What do we need to do?
Okay.
So 24.
The 24th. You want to do the 24th or the 31st?
31st.
That's 3 weeks.
So that's okay.
Okay. I'm going to put that down here.
Well, you know what? Let's move it to the 24th. Yeah, let's do it that way.
They just made me scribble on my calendar.
Gosh darn it.
Ha ha. That's why they have electronics.
We're handwriting.
Okay.
So February 24.
Yeah. No, March.
No, March 10th and March 24th.
Got it.
And I'll get it on the calendar again. So it's there. Okay. Well, good job, guys and gals.
Yeah. Excellent meeting.
Yeah. We'll just keep moving forward.
We're getting closer, getting a lot of cars. We just, like I say, we need to get the motorcycles and we need to wrap up this other stuff. And one of the other things put on the agenda for maybe the next meeting, start talking about how we're going to get all of our tables and chairs,
You guys have
pop-ups,
You guys got to figure out the trophies too.
trophy. Yeah, we got to discuss trophies again. We can do that on the side. Rory and Tim and I can do that. So
Okay.
Telling you, I got a good guy for those trophies.
well, we probably need to go talk to them. We need to look around and see what we like and what we don't like.
Oh, you know that good guy. You go to him too.
All too
Oh,
well.
Guy.
Yeah,
The
the
guy.
guy.
Yeah, we know him well.
We know Guy very well. So, okay. I
All
got
right.
nothing else,
Let
boss.
me stop the recording here. Let's see here.